In this episode, I'm waiting for G to come back and for our scheduled transit through the Panama Canal. I already know that B3 is going to be the center boat during the canal transit, so I walked the dock to see if I could spot the boats that will be tied up to us hip to hip. I'm also finishing up a few smaller projects, but instead of boring you guys with too much maintenance, I thought it could be a great opportunity to share a walk at the dock, giving you a realistic impression of the types of boats that do the circumnavigation nowadays. In the previous episode, G flew back home to Europe to organize lots of things, making it possible to jump on new adventures with B3, including selling her campervan, as she will not have time to use this in the near future. The most important task, however, is to bring back tons of Dutch candies to me. This is called Dropius and is my favorite candies on this planet. When she comes back, we will transit the Panama Canal and start the Pacific adventure. At Shelter Bay Marina, they have a cruiser's workshop, which is very handy for some projects. And now I'm cleaning up one of B3's window frames after I detached it from the hull. Something I learned long time ago when I was fixing up old boats. The only way to make a hatch or a window perfectly sealed is to take it out and clean up everything, before putting it all back together again with new sealant. Tech 7, 3M 5200, Sikaflex or similar all have a lifespan of 10 years or so. So it doesn't really matter how much you paid for your boat or which brand it is. Sooner than later you will experience a leak. This needs to be addressed right away, and as I point out my personal experience, there is no shortcut to success in this matter. And as the frame already is out, I might as well repaint it at the same time to keep up with the constant maintenance on this pretty but poor solution from Lemar. It's always an interesting discussion what kind of boats are actually circumnavigating and crossing the Pacific. And here in Shelter Bay Marina is basically the gateway to the Pacific in front of the Panama Canal. Most of the boats camping around here are planning on crossing the canal and head out in the Pacific. So I thought it could be interesting and a good thing to show you the type and different types of boats that's waiting here for crossing the canal and heading out the Pacific. Only walking down the dock where B3 is tied down, you can get a good image of a trend I've seen for a long time. Not only more catamarans, but bigger and more expensive ones. And some more interesting than others, like this custom-built Katana 65 in carbon fiber.
Så du vill säga det att det som är lite speciellt det är alltså att hon är av Katana 65-erna, så hon är omtrent 6 ton mindre vikt, för att det är bara karbon i henne. Alltså allting under vann är fortfarande polyester, det borde vara för att det är because of korrosion då. Ja. Men allting över vann är kolfiber.
Ja. Ja, det är grymt. Vilken båt då? Making B3 a pretty humble and tiny yacht compared to its neighbors. And of course some charter boats with crews on its way to different charter destinations in the Pacific. more old-fashioned segment, you will see more classic Scandinavian yachts like Najad and Halbarasi than you will see the classic Amels. All of them with skeg-hung rudders and long keel. It's also to me fascinating to see modern designs hip to hip with old-fashioned design. And docked together like this, you can really see the difference, and it's almost surreal that on the paper they are the same size of boats. This might be a Norwegian thing, but I do find it a bit funny that we now are walking the dock where the smaller yachts are docked. The funny part is, here you find anything between 54 to 40 foot, and mostly monohulls where the majority is mass production yachts. Even a 57 monohull looks pretty ordinary today, walking the dock where the majority are planning on crossing the Pacific. B3 is still in good company, with the majority of yachts here being a mass production yacht in the 55 plus segment. Even though the trend is pretty clear to me, bigger and more expensive yachts are dominating the picture. You will still find smaller yachts with smaller budgets as well. This used to be the formula for circumnavigation back in the days. Center cockpit yachts around 40 foot. But as you can see here, the multi-hulls are dominating the docks nowadays. They are many, they are big, and they are expensive. I'm really interested in not only boat designs, but also the difference in sailors' choice and opinions. For a long time, I've been curious if there is a clear trend or any pattern in terms of models, types or hull designs that can identify the modern circumnavigator. It's a bit difficult to pinpoint the most popular brand or design. However, as a fun fact, the most popular add-ons for most sailors seems to be the flat antenna designed by Elon Musk and his team at Starlink. Today I also have another mission whilst walking these docks. I wanted to see the boats that are going to be tied hip to hip with B3 through the canal in less than 2 weeks. Every day you can see yachts ready to transit the canal. They are very easy to identify, having big fenders and lines on their deck. The last weeks the majority of yachts have been lagoon catamarans. If this is a trend or just a coincidence, I don't know. but I have met lots of quite young people with brand new lagoons up to 56 foot, and it makes me wonder. It's definitely a new type of cruisers with online jobs and more money than average. I believe the low budget cruisers slowly will disappear due to several factors for the future. Even the Panama Canal can be a showstopper with their new rules, as your boat now will not pass the inspection if you don't have a holding tank and seacocks in good condition. Also, a 27-foot boat now pays the same as a 65-footer. In the next episode, G is back on board again, and we are rushing towards our canal crossing date. B3 has a working radar again, and as a last minute challenge, the Yamaha outboard gets serious problems. This has to be solved right away, otherwise it will be a huge challenge staying at anchor on the Pacific side. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you haven't already, I would be happy to see you subscribe. Be happy, be free. Cheers!